everyone. Today we're going to be talking about Origins. So this is a little bit of preview because we get to go. Luckily, we're very fortunate this year that both of us get to go, not just for the weekend, because the last couple of times it's just been like a Friday, Saturday kind of thing. But this time we're going for the whole show, the whole kabang. So that's kind of exciting.
Yes and no. We'll start technically Wednesday with events, but the exhibit hall doesn't open until Thursday. We'll be up there Wednesday night.
Yeah. Along with our nieces and nephews. So we're taking 3 of them up there with us. It's the first time they've ever been to a convention. So wish them luck, and we'll see how they like it.
See how it goes. They're only going to be there one day.
They're only going to be there one day, not the whole thing. And so the most thing that I'm looking forward to is North Market, which is about food. Okay? It is literally not even, 2 blocks away from the convention center, and there's so many goodies. I'm excited about the macaroons.
So we're talking about Origins, and you lead off with something that has nothing to do with Origins, except for the fact that it's in the same city.
I'm just saying, if you're looking for food, you should definitely look up the North Market if you don't already know it exists. Mm-hmm. No, I mean, I am excited because we have loved Origins in the past because it is more of a laid-back version of Gen Con. There's still plenty of stuff to do, but you're not up and close and personal with every single stranger that you've ever known or not known in this case. So it's a lot more relaxed and it's a lot more flowing. We actually hasn't scheduled much to do though this time around.
Yeah, I mean this has been a weird year for Origins because first of all, they haven't even decided next year when it's going to be or where it's going to be yet because the contract is up in Columbus. So they're negotiating the contract still. So there hasn't been any announcements for the next several years of what the
I don't know what I'd do if they moved. I look forward to certain things.
But that's weird. Secondly, they've been really slow about announcing anything as far as like the media list. We just found out, I guess today that we are actually on the media list. And we still don't have this is our first year going as VIGs. We signed up. I got to tell you, VIG program at Origins, way easier to get into. You just go and sign up and buy a ticket.
There's a lot more benefits, too.
And the benefits, we haven't gone yet, so we got to see if those perks are worth it.
We'll see. Tentatively, from what we have viewed thus far,
yes,
it seems like it's going to be a way more
nothing else,
value.
You get to get in for an extra hour early on Thursday.
Yeah, I still don't know why Gen Con got rid of that.
Because all of the vendors had to be there for an hour for many less sales, and then there was people complaining because they were saying the VIGs were buying up all this early releases before they got in there to even be available for the people. So there was a lot of reasons, but as far as Origins still has that perk apparently, and their perks are pretty comparable, but the tickets are way cheaper, and they seem to have at least as good or better benefits. Now we don't know what the swag might be or anything like that.
Yeah,
we'll find out. This is our first year doing it,
so we'll see. Then what are some of the events that we do have lined up? Because I know you mentioned a couple of things, and I was totally listening. But I'm sure they weren't because they weren't there.
So mostly we're doing demos. I mean, we're meeting with a few of the media. We're meeting with Cosmos. I met with them last year at Origins, and they don't have a booth there, but they are meeting in like the open learn to play area. So I'm going to meet up with their representative there, and they're going to demo a couple of their games, one of which is the sequel to My City, My Island.
Oh, okay.
And the other one's a Lord of the Rings game. I can't recall the name of it, but we're going to get early looks at those. We're meeting up with someone from Snowbright Studios to go over their games. They do mostly RPGs, but they do have a Birds of a Feather card game that we're going to get to try out, I think. As far as events we've signed up, we've only signed up for 2. We signed up for Learn to Play of Habitats, which is kind of a tile placement nature game. And then a Learn to Play of Spring and Autumn, which was kind of an area control game, but it was civilization building.
Which is my cup of tea. Yeah, civilization building.
They call it a 4X game. So
we'll see how that
works. But it's not. It's only like 3 hours long, so it's not going to be like an all-day 4X game. Apart from that, we'll just be doing a lot of shopping.
I won't be shopping. I'm broke.
And that's the other weird thing is I got the preview list off of Board Game Geek for Origins, and there's not very many new game releases coming to Origins. Now, I know that's typical that they don't have a whole lot, but last year there were still quite a few.
There was still quite a few.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So this year it's very limited. I've already pre-ordered pretty much everything from Ashay's lineup that's coming out. We made with them pretty much every year at Origins and Gen Con, or at least the last 2 times. They are very easy to talk to. They're very friendly, and they did a pre-order for all their new releases, which was very helpful. I always like when companies do that. So I've ordered from everything from the Ashay lineup that I was interested in, which was Vivarium, Valbara, Rahat. I basically order everything I can't pronounce. And then the expansion for Old Tree. That's one that we both liked when we played as far as the co-op game. And, this is the expansion for it.
I'd say it. I don't even remember it. We played too many games.
It was one that was kind of like a King Arthur Knight story. And we played.
Oh, was Sissy?
No, it was just you, me, I believe. Maybe your dad.
Okay, I believe you.
And then the one I'm most excited about is In the Footsteps of Darwin, because I always like the Darwin games.
Yeah, you do. So, you do typically like them.
Yeah, I mean, well, at least it's concept. I like the Darwin games. There's been a few that I haven't been that impressed with, but I like the science behind them. The ones that I've kind of got my eye on at the game, the one I'm most excited about that I don't have pre-ordered is Mission Control Critical Orbit. Now, 3WS is a group we met with, I think, a year or so ago at Gen Con or Origins. They have this game coming out, and I didn't really know what it was, but then when I started looking, it's a co-op game of all of them, but it's a co-op roll and write.
Oh, okay.
And that's something I've not seen before, where we cooperatively. Now, we did see it in the roll and write, partially a co-op, because it was competitive and cooperative versions, but the Roll and Meow, the Cat Burglars preview we did, which is up on the channel. So this is the first one that's a full-fledged cooperative roll and write.
Yeah, I would love to see how that one's going to pull out.
The next thing I'm excited about there is Maglev Maps, which is the expansion for Maglev Metro, which is that really pretty...
Yeah, you really liked that one quite a bit.
Yeah, except for we got bad ones there. I was one of the things I got to take my copy with me to see if I can get replacement tiles for the orange ones that are blank. We have some that came out wrong. We didn't play with them, so we didn't notice it. But then when I loaned it to my sister, they did play with them, and they were like, "Oh, you got tiles that don't have any color on them." So, and then beyond that, there's the Artemis project we backed on Kickstarter. We played that a while back and reviewed it. They have an expansion and a sequel.
Oh, okay.
So, flag those to check them out. There's another deck and bag building game called Resurgence that is got in-game bonuses. It's set in a sci-fi world, post-apocalyptic. So I'm curious what that is. Castlescape. This is one more. There's it's another deck bag or pool building game, but I think this one's a deck builder. But you're basically trying to spread your influence to build castles and take over the kingdom. A lot of deck building games. This is one that's be Hexed, which is a spell casting game. I thought would be something you might be interested in. That's pretty much it. As far as the lineup of ones to check out up there. So I don't have a big list. That big list will be waiting for Gen Con. So I'm sure that list will be probably about 10 times the size of this one. So I haven't really gone through the Gen Con lineup yet.
Yeah. Now I still haven't looked because I do actually want to get into an RPG while we're over at Origins because it's not something that we get to do a lot here, just because of most of our gamers are board gamers, not RPGers. So
now I don't know if I know at Gen Con there was some werewolf ones that were, because there's a new release of werewolf coming out, and I don't know if they're going to have any of those at Origins or not, but you might be able to find one of those.
Yeah, no, I gotta go look. And so if you guys know one of them, I love me some old werewolf. But hey, maybe I can come visit you and see what you do, right? So if you have one that you guys want to, highlight, let me know, because I'd love to get on. I did play with, at Gen Con last year, there was a group, I got to find it because that was actually a lot of fun. I guess it's, they do different cons and you build your character and eventually get XP that you take with you. So that one was a lot of fun. I may try to find them, but I don't remember. I don't remember the name. I
Well, you
have to go
should
look
be
at
able
my
to
notes.
track up your old Gen Con.
Yeah, I
events.
should be able to. So, but yeah, if you guys got a recommendation on maybe some RPG that I can hang out at, that would be great. I think that about sums up our trip. I mean, I'm excited about the food.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's nice to get away for this one because normally at Gen Con, we both kind of go on our separate paths because you're going and running events a lot,
Yeah.
or hosting or playing games that you enjoy. I'm, on the other hand, doing the chasing the entire time, and Rob's off in his own little world working for Chip Theory Games typically. You know, so we're all kind of in our own paths. So this one, we get to kind of take everything we've signed up for. We're both going to, assuming you don't find something RPG wise that takes you away from it. But
yeah, I mean, well, that's the reasons why we like it so much. Is because it's way more laid back.
Yeah.
And that has its own appeal. So if the hustle and bustle from Gen Con was too much for you, I do highly recommend going to Origins because it's big enough to have plenty of stuff to do, but it feels small even though it isn't. And I don't know if it's because they have it spread out so well or how they managed it.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have nearly the number of vendors that Gen Con does. I mean, like I said, Gen Con's more for me. That's the kind of thing I like where I'm going, breakneck speed chasing things, not running. Do not run. But, trying to track down my haul. And then at Origins, it's more of a relaxing thing, which you enjoy more. Plus, we get to go out. We don't have to stay at the convention. We get leave and go run to restaurants that are
because I don't.
Things.
Yeah, well, I mean, because you look at my Gen Con schedule, I'm running a lot of events, guys. I think I do have a few more openings for some of the events. But yeah, I don't run any at Origins. Now that might change next year.
Well, you got a ton of it because you just launched the golf.
Yeah, that's for Gen Con, not for Origins. Yeah, Gen Con. No, there's plenty of space. So I just launched. I don't know if anyone's seen the review about the disc golf, the board game,
tabletop or table golf.
Yeah. So we got a 9-hole setup, and I'm doing that all day Friday practically until
we hope it'll be 9-hole setup. We haven't set up the 9 holes to make sure we got no pieces yet.
I mean, I do have how many boxes?
Yeah, we got 3 sets, full sets. So
if I can't get 9 holes out of that, then I'm calling and complaining.
So yeah, I'm gonna swing by just to see that set up. I'm curious.
Yeah,
just to see it set up.
We'll end up taking pictures, obviously, and get them posted when we do our review at the end of Gen Con, obviously. But I have some fun ideas for that. Well, guys, thanks so much for joining us. We had an absolute blast, and hopefully, hey, if you see us at Origins, come, hey, say hello.
Yeah.
I will have some cool RPG themed stickers. You may get a shield, some backpacks, and things like that in sticker form. So definitely come say hi.
You'll be able to spot me at least probably on Thursday because I'll be wearing the logo for our channel on my chest. So I don't know if I might have a couple of days where I have different shirts for that or the same shirt. I've got 2 different copies of that shirt. So
yeah. So but yeah, or if you just ask. I mean, no one ever gets offended when you're like, "Hey, are you?"
Yeah.
So all right, guys. Well, again, thank you. We'll catch you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.